Welcome, welcome. I'm Dee, and this is a single mama guided life where I try to navigate through finances, motherhood, being single, and everything in between. And I bring you guys along for the journey to hold me accountable. All right, let's get into this. This is my emergency fund and debt update. So I always start with my emergency fund worksheet. There has not been any changes that I need to make to this worksheet. This worksheet is one that I created for myself with the items that I feel will secure the four walls of my home to ensure if I ever lose my income, these items will be taken care of. So for me, the essential items amount is $2,246.86, and this is monthly. Okay, so we are going to first look at last month. Last month we were at $2,843.94. We were covered for the first month, so now we're currently working on the third month. So let's see where we at currently. Currently, we have $3,397.19. I have been able to put towards my goal $553.25 from the last update. Now what we are going to do is, this is another sheet that I created for myself to ensure that I am staying on track. And we have our 1 month goal, which is $2,246.86. We have our 3 month goal, which is $6,740.58. And then the 6 month goal is $13,481.16. Okay. So what I like to find out is, am I reaching these goals on where I'm at? So I ask myself, have I reached my 1 month goal? Based on the amount that I have and what it takes to cover the 1 month, that would be a yes. So I do not need anything to go towards that. And that is tiny. Okay, that was just too tiny for my liking. So there we go with, we do not need anything for the month. Let's go to 3 months and have we reached our 3 month goal? No, we have not reached this goal, so I put an X. And what do we need to actually reach our 3 month goal? So I take the $6,740.58. I minus the $3,397.19. And that gives me a total of $3,343.39 that is needed to cover that goal. I do the same for the 6 months. I haven't reached that goal. I need to find out what I actually need to meet that goal. So I just take the same $13,481.16 minus the $3,397.19. And that gives me a total of $10,083.97. I have been working on my emergency fund goals slowly, but I am keeping in mind ways that I can send additional money to this goal, whereas I'm not focusing on it at this particular time, more so than I am the debt. So this is where I'm at this time. I can tell like I am halfway to the 3 months marks, which is good. I'm excited about that. So let's go ahead and we're going to move to our monthly debt update. So let's look at last month where we were at. Last month, I was able to pay off one of my 401k loans. I am currently working on my medical loan. And so this shows all the ending balances and what the total ending balance was for the month of September. So this will be the starting balance for October, which we'll be working on shortly. Additionally, on here on the side, these are credit cards. And so I look at credit cards as active, whereas I look at the other items such as the medical loans, the car loans, and stuff like that is inactive, because as soon as I pay these items off, they're gone. But I am constantly using these credit cards, therefore it's going to be active, and I want to see exactly what I'm putting towards these cards monthly. Okay, not monthly, on a yearly basis. So I always want to keep up with every purchase. So this will not go too far because we're going to have to reference it later. And so let's start with our new monthly debt update. So this will be the monthly update that will start October. So we already know that the medical bill has been paid off. Oh, that's all funky. The taxes was paid off and the loan was paid off. There we go. So I just wanted to make sure that, so we're working on the medical loan. All of these balances were transferred from the September monthly update, as well as the percentages. I double checked and they have not changed. And the only one that will actually change, well, it will be two to change, but the only one that will actually change this year again would have been the medical loan. And that's because this medical loan interest is based on the market. The car loan is on a rate reduction that goes every 3 months. I just received that in, I believe, October. So I'm not looking to see anything until probably January payments. So that's totally fine. So the starting for the month of October is $16,530.80. So let's see what we did in the month of October for these debts. So starting with our medical loan, I was able to make a total payment of $732.43. Okay, so where did that come from? Well, $611.27 came from my side income. If you haven't already, check out my side gig vlogs where I take you along on rides, where I deliver groceries and foods for my local area. Additionally, I was able to make 2 regular payments within this time frame. So with this particular debt, the interest, as stated, was 9.25%, and the interest, actually the amount was $7.48. So the amount that I actually paid towards the debt was $724.95. Therefore, that left me a balance of $276.48. Okay, so loan 3, I started with $1,495.16. This loan payment is actually payroll deductions. Therefore, depending on how many checks that I receive within the month, determines how many payments will go towards this particular loan. And there was only 2 counted thus far when I verified and checked, and so that was $34.82 was the total. No, it wasn't. Let me fix that. This loan here was $36.08 was the total. $7.44 went towards interest. And for this particular loan, in the one after, the interest actually, because these are 401k loans, the interest actually goes back into my 401k, but it does take away how much I'm paying off the loan to myself, because these are loans from my 401k. So I took a loan out on my money and I'm paying back that money. So the amount that went towards that particular debt was $28.64. And that left me with a balance of $1,466.52. Loan 2, $1,538.43 was the starting balance. This loan I paid the $34.82. The interest earned was $7.66. The amount that went towards this debt was $27.16. So it left me with a balance of $1,511.27. My car loan, I made a monthly payment of $280.14. This payment that I made in October was actually November's payment, because I am a month ahead of this current time. The actual interest that that was deducted from that payment was $142.55. The amount that went towards the debt was $137.59. So my ending balance for my car loan is actually $12,114.53. And you can see that the difference between what's going to interest and what's going to principal is like $5 difference. And that's because with this rate reduction, it is allowing for me to actually pay more towards principal than I would have if I had a steady rate for these last few months. Additionally, I am a month ahead. That is helping it as well. So now let's talk about our active debt. So as stated, I always put what the starting balance for the month was. So this is October's starting balance. The payment that I made was $36. There's no interest on this purchase at this time, but I did elect to have an insurance set up, so if I was to lose my income, the insurance will cover the monthly payments for this credit card. Therefore, they charge me a fee, and it's calculated based on my balance, and they have a percentage of that balance that they charge. Therefore, 93 cents, and I'm going to write fee so I remember, was deducted from my monthly payment, and only $35.07 actually went towards my principal, and my ending balance is $105.88. Okay, so I want you to also know a couple things here. The total amount that I have actually purchased on this particular card was $724.92. Okay, now as stated, I always want to put the total amount for the year that I'm actually using this card for purchases, so I can have a mental reminder and also be mindful of my spending of these credit cards. This credit card started as a store credit card, which had a perk of when you spent over a certain amount, you receive 0% interest for 6 months. Well, the card issuer and the store decided to part ways. The card issuer decided that some accounts were worthy enough to be transferred into a major credit card, and they extended that to me. So I went ahead and took advantage of that. It did not change anything with this balance here. It carried over, and the terms carried over. The balance, as you can see, and we're just going to pull this out, was $242 in September. How did it jump to $724.92? So for me, credit cards has always been very hard for me to grasp in the sense of being responsible with them. Therefore, I needed to test the waters. I needed to know if I made a purchase within the month, would I be able to pay off that balance before or within a time frame of not incurring any interest. And I am happy to say I successfully was able to do that because 1, I had sinking funds, and 2, I had extra, I had money that I was able to dedicate towards that. The purchase that I actually made was airline tickets. Therefore, and what I like about this credit card now is I can earn cash back, which is something I hadn't earned, I don't believe, on any other credit card I had in the past, or I just never took advantage of it because, like I said, we had a bad history. So I made a purchase of the airline tickets. I waited until I got the cash back notification, and then I went ahead and paid off that balance within the time frame where I didn't receive any interest. Therefore, by the time it was to do this update, the only thing that was reflected was my starting balance and the ending balance and everything in between. Okay. But I also, again, want to inform you and keep myself updated on how much I'm purchasing on this particular card. I don't know where this card is going to go in the future for me in my budgeting. Next month, I'll be focusing on my 2021 annual budget. So I'll see how I'm going to approach this. Because like I said, that me and credit cards have bad history. This credit card, when it was a store credit card, that idea of purchasing something and able to pay it little off at a time was helping me in my journey in the beginning. So I just want to see how that plays out in 2021. So let's move to credit card 2, because credit card 2 is a hot mess. So let's start with what I paid on credit card 2, which was $28. This one is also 0 interest, so there was nothing occurred. And at this time, the $28 went towards the debt. Now the ending balance is actually $724.55. Let's try to figure out why that happened. Okay. So in the beginning of October, this was the starting balance. Within October, I made 4 purchases. Well, I made 3 purchases, but it was broken down in 4 because I purchased from a store, and when they sent the items, they charged me as the items were being sent out. So that's how they got separated. So in my mind, I was going to just not include this in my update. For some reason, I just felt like if it was going to be paid off, there's no reason to discuss it. But then I thought to myself, that is unfair to myself. And that's not being true. And I want my channel to be as transparent as possible, especially during this journey, because I am looking for y'all to be help me be accountable. So that's where we're at, $724.55. And so the total on this credit card that I have actually spent was $1,529.30. Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead and see what our ending balance is at this current time. All right. So we have $16,199.23. So I'm going to take that amount and transfer it down here, and it goes in both areas. And also this monthly debt update sheet is actually from Life in Envelopes, Jennifer Bleacher, and I truly love it. It's simple. And I love streamlined items, and it helps me with the important information that's needed to be abstracted from my debt to help with this journey. All right, so now that we have that, we need to talk about the grand total. So last month, the grand total was $19,719.84. As I spend on my credit card, this changes its number. I started this journey, or started tracking this journey more so in June and July, and I believe I started this format around August and September. But I wasn't paying anything extra. I was just doing my monthly payment, so it was no big whoopee going on prior to June. I was paying debt, but I wasn't actively trying to pay it off, if that makes any sense. So I always try to inform you all that at this current time, all I can say is that I've had, starting the beginning of this year, over $20,000 worth of debt. That's all I can say. I'm not, for my sanity, I'm not going to go through to see what the beginning number was. So that's where we're at with that, okay? because I'm using these credit cards and I want to also include those credit card charges when I make, purchases, this number can change, okay? And will change. I won't say can, it will, it's going to change. So this amount has to change by the purchases I made within October. And I just stated to you that I made 4 purchases. All right. Yes, that's where we're at. So the total is $20,369.68. Okay. So I want to see how much debt I've paid off so far. So that's $4,170.45. Let's see how much we have paid off for this month. Oh, okay. So it says we paid off $331.57. And this is where my great debate is. Because these are zero interest, should I be including them into my grand total as I make changes? I really need some input because I believe that the grand total will always show the accurate amount of what's actually being paid from my account to debt. And the monthly shows the actions that's been going on towards that. And the reason I say that is because I know I paid off more than $331.57. We can tell I paid off more than $331.57. Okay, that looks a lot better. So that's $981.41. That's how much I actually paid to debt. You can see the difference. And it's gonna be a difference monthly for me because though I'm paying down my inactive debt, I am actively using credit cards. And so regardless of if it's not like there's no interest, it's still debt. I'm using debt while I'm paying off debt. So I hope that makes some sense somewhere, somehow. But that's why I like the sheet, because this gives us a summary, but this gives us detail where we can analyze what really is going on. So if you're new to my channel, and you would love to be part of my village, because I would love for you to be part of it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you for watching and your support on this journey, because this can be one that can cause you to have headaches after headaches. So I do thank you for your support as well as your comments that you leave. Everybody go hit that thumbs up. And if you can, go ahead and share this with your family, friends, and your coworkers. Peace out.